No, you can make it your own.
I just hit lesson with Mickey.
Oh, wow. Cool. Yeah, I think it's live right now.
Okay.
So there
Cool.
is a scene in Minneapolis, huh?
Yeah, there is a scene in Minneapolis, and I would say it's. Yep, we're good. Yes, the scene, Minneapolis, St. Paul, like that's where I cut my teeth, learning to play bluegrass with a lot of the cats and the old timers, and they usually hold 4 festivals a year. 2 of them are indoor, 2 of them are outdoor, and again,
Sure.
2 of them are like big, and 2 of them are like smaller, more local bands, regional bands, and then one in August is a big deal. Again, they'll get Del McCurry or Tim O'Brien or Blue Highway or I think Banjo Ben was actually there with his family band this year.
Do you play in a band there? Do you have a regular band?
I used to, but not. Yeah, this was this before BC, before children. I had a band. I had a couple bands where I was playing and gigging.
Dude, when you said BC, I thought you were going to say before COVID.
Well, you can think of it either way.
I was like, that's what my brain went to a little.
I always used to joke BC, before children.
Right.
And I had a couple bands that I play. I would do guitar, or I would play dobro, or upright bass. When I played guitar, I was kind of like the front man. I kind of would sing and kind of front the band, so to speak. On dobros, I'd still sing a little bit, but yeah, those are like a long. I was like 20 some years ago. Like New North String Band was the name of the band. We're on Pandora. We cut an album,
Yeah.
But the scene in Minnesota, I'd say, is fairly good. It's kind of up and down. It's all volunteer based, right? The people who run the organization. So
right.
It kind of waxes and wanes over the years, and as I've noticed, and I'm not totally in touch with it these days because I'm in Wisconsin now, and I haven't been back to those festivals, but I still see their promotions for it, their advertisement, and they're still getting acts, and they used to have a big band contest that, you kind of, if you win that band contest, you get a slot at on the big stage, on the big festival. And, we did that. I think we got second one year and first one year. And
cool.
Yeah. So I
don't gig much. I don't gig much at all.
Yeah.
I still gig a little bit. I do the Grateful Dog duo, my buddy Billy Gilmore. We do like the Garcia Grisman tribute.
Okay. Beautiful.
But I don't play any really local gigs anymore. Since Catherine passed, I don't really do anything like that anymore. There's tons of people that I know in town, but I just don't really. I don't want to it's not the same playing without Catherine.
Oh man, you played with her. Yeah, I bet that's the thing.
Dude, we won an Emmy Award together.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know Catherine is an Emmy Award winning songwriter?
I did not.
Wow. Yeah, man.
What was the award? What's the title?
It was a PBS show called Local Roots. It was a like a theme song to a TV show. People think we won a Grammy, but then we're like, no, it's an Emmy. We actually it was a theme song to a TV show.
It's not a Grammy, it's an Emmy. Yeah, that's right. Wow. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, I don't gig too much either. Just like family. I'm just really wrapped up in kind of the family stuff, and my kids are really active and stuff like that. It's flute lessons tomorrow. It's piano lessons the next day. It's hockey the next day. And so I don't gig as much either. And my business, Music with Ryan, I try to.
It seems like it's huge. 40,000. Dude, 40,000 subs is a lot on YouTube for flat picking guitar.
Well, yeah, I'd say it's a decent size for this genre. I've been at it 12 years.
Yeah, that's longer than Marcel's been doing his channel.
Yep. He's at like 70,000 now. He's shooting. But yeah, I don't know. I just, at the beginning years, man, I was grinding away. I was making a lot of lessons and a lot of.
Do you ever think about branching out to the content like Marcel does with interviews and almost like what I would call like creating the culture, not just like lessons, but commenting on the culture, creating the culture? Well,
the more I hang around you guys and hang around the group, I do, but I'm a little scared to do it. To be honest, that's not comfortable. Like I've been doing virtually the same kind of videos for a decade, and so I'm a little nervous to kind of get outside that box. I would like to, and maybe just talking with you here, will kind of spur some more of that. This is new, me to stream this.
Sure.
With this is different.
Yeah. So. If people are watching this, to give the background, Ryan reached out. He watched the David Greer. I guess it was after the David Greer video or something like that. And you're like, hey, Mickey, we should do like a lesson. Like, dude, you literally said, let's do a lesson. Like
I want a lesson from you. I want to take lessons from you.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So I came back and was like, no, we're not doing a lesson. What about a live stream? Because I've actually never even talked about music with you before.
Right.
Yeah, I've watched your videos. I've certainly watched the videos, and when I look up a tune like Southern Flavor, there's Southern Flavor. Or a student of mine the other day was playing your version of I Am a Pilgrim.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a lot of arrangements.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, hundreds. Because I usually do 2 for every song. That's always been kind of one of my bits or my approaches is that I'm going to make 2 arrangements to Dark Hollow, I Am Pilgrim, whatever, and be like, okay, first one's going to be beginner. And then the second one's going to be intermediate potentially. And I always try to make it obtainable yet tasteful. That's always my approach. Because I want someone to be able to play these tunes. I want, like learning the Tony Rice solo. That's hard, man. That takes so much time to Billy Strings or, David Greer, whoever. That's involving. So I want to get people playing, and that's always been my approach. And a lot of times it's kind of this Carter style beginning version, playing stuff right within the chords, and then I try to make something that's more flat picky, and that's been my approach.
Yeah, learning even back in the day before I ever met any of my bluegrass heroes, I had this vision that if I ever sat down and picked with Tony Rice, the last thing he would ever want to hear is his version of Red Hair Boy. Back for some reason, like it just kind of like made sense to my brain, even when I was learning his Red Haired Boy.
Yeah,
that's like. Yeah, this is not exactly how the tune should go. This is like Tony's thing. And like, I would never play this for him. It would be so weird to play that back to him.
Yeah. And again, I mean, I already said it to you before we hit the stream button here, but like I was taking lessons with Russ Barenberg for about a year, and it was really pivotal time in my life to learn, I guess, bluegrass, and get the feel and start to get some of this, especially this Carter style playing. And he was like, no matter how much you try to sound like somebody else, you're always going to sound like yourself. And I was just like, okay. And then I heard Brian Sutton, like talk about signing your name to the tune. And I was like, okay, I got to just figure out what I'm good at and just I create an arrangement that sounds like me, I guess. Yeah,
man. So I have no idea what I would, I have a few ideas of things that I could show you on the guitar. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, so can we see comments on YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's only been, there's that first guy, this guy who I don't understand. Adam said this, I can wait before we even hit the live stream. Adam, if you're watching, you commented on this stream before we even went live. Who are you? Maybe he's a bot. But then he said, I'll give you a sub today, Ryan. But that was after we started streaming. So Adam, who are you, man? You're commenting on stuff before we even go live. I didn't know that was possible. Okay. And then this one was Ryan. You're one of the best teachers of guitar I have found.
I know Clifton. He's a regular.
It's very kind, Clifton.
Yeah, I know. When people say that, I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I guess I don't know. Like, and I reached out. Yeah, I've watched some of your. I was just watching before I got here your little clip with Hayes, and you were working on C connecting ideas. And I thought that was really cool how you were kind of like.
Yeah, well, that's the stuff I was going to try to share a little bit of that knowledge with you, because that's probably, out of the flat picking instruction, which I've seen decades of it, is like the one concept that I've kind of taken from, I think, like other places and genres and kind of attached it to our genre. Kind of like fished out what I think some like jazz players are doing or different. It's kind of like bluegrass language, but each one of those 5-note sequences is not really a bluegrass lick per se.
Sure.
But then I'm applying it to something like this. Had to kind of create like those types of lines. I always kind of wanted to do that, and I didn't really know how, but it took me like 20-something years to kind of figure out like
20-something years.
how'd
you get so good at guitar? You know, it's like, well,
right.
And
then to form, people even ask me how to do that with minor chords or dominant chords or something, and I haven't quite even figured out, because with minor chords you have like different types of minors, like the minor 7 or the minor 6. There's like this A minor that's the 6 of C, but then there's like another A minor that has like there's different types of A minors, and so I haven't quite figured out how to get the lines to be the exact same for a minor key. I have something similar, but I'm still working on it. Yeah. And the dominant lines are different too, because I end up having to include the 13th and the 6th. Like it becomes a little bit jazzier, just because it had to, because I couldn't figure out. But the major ones really made a lot of sense.
You're going down the rabbit hole with all that stuff. Yeah, I like that. So
it's gonna be a book one day. So
yeah, you should write a book. And so yeah, I was wanting to do lessons. With you or Andy too. I really like Andy.
You guys are freaking genius.
Yeah, he's like so many ideas, and so I like depth. So that's what I want to get at. Is like I thought you and Andy had a lot of depth, and that's what I'm searching for more as I get older, more mature player. I want to be more of a player, and just looking for more depth. You know, I've been studying Dave Rawlings a little bit and his somewhat orthodox style playing.
I love
talk about maybe a little bit, but yeah, that's kind of where I come.
Dude, this guy Adam says that he met me in Asheville, North Carolina. I remember that. Greer was there. He played the whole set that night. And Drew, yeah, man, I remember meeting you, dude. How did you comment on the stream before we went live, Adam? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, we want to know.
I want to know how you said "I can wait" and what that was in reference to when you said this, which was, I want to just clear that up so I know how StreamYard works.
Look at this comment.
Man, see, Ryan, you've got a great audience, man.
I tell you why people write stuff like, well, I think I know part of the reason why people say this is because I go really slow. I teach really slow and methodical. And some people hate that.
Right.
You know, I'm not for everybody. I'm not for an advanced player necessarily. But for people who need things slowed way down and explained step by note for note, as I often say, I think that's why some people really enjoy the content and the lessons.
No idea the stream had not started on my feed. Dude, I swear, we're just sitting here, like Ryan popped into my StreamYard. We hadn't pressed live yet, and Adam, you said like, "I can wait," and like, oh, maybe
it's an old comment.
The stream had not started on my feed. Maybe it said that there's a stream, like it says like stream coming, but hasn't started. Maybe it like has like a video and you can like wait. I'm just not used to having someone in the stream waiting for for it to start or something. Maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that you could see it. I gotcha.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that if you wanted to do that, you had to like set it up like that, like stream starts at noon. Kind of thing, which is like, that'll be the future of what we do here, instead of like going like totally random.
Right.
It'll be like people know that there'll be like a stream starting Monday night at 8:00, and
right.
It could be Andy, it could be Hayes, it could be Marcel, the Godfather himself.
Godfather himself. That's funny. So yeah, show me some of this. How do we get started doing this little 5-note pattern?
That's definitely part of it. I have you set to notify, buddy. All right. So yeah, basically, let's do this. Let's do Okay, so you know how you want to land on chord tones?
Sure.
So like you want to definitely do this.
Okay.
It doesn't have to land on those notes, but this is just one idea. Like, it's so hard for me. I teach music every day for years, but I always have to be like, this is not the only way. There's a million examples where this won't be the case, But let's say you had this kind of sequence here. Just a straight chromatic from the root to third. Okay. It's kind of unusual, but it's from the root to the third, and it puts the third on the downbeat. So if you went like this, that still works, but if you went down, up, you've now landed on the third on an upstroke.
Yeah.
So you add this note, and so it puts the third right on the downbeat.
Okay.
That's the same thing as doing this, like a G run.
Sure.
Putting a quarter note at the beginning.
Yeah.
Then when you get to that note, here's a cool sequence. Exactly. Because once again, if I did this, I'm landing on the G string with the upstroke.
Yeah.
Which is a totally great lick. You know, I can go or backwards. That's a great bluegrass thing. Everyone does that, like Blue Monk.
Right.
Or that's also Foggy Mountain Breakdown. That order of notes.
Sure.
So I love that order, but if you add this in there, go past your destination, and then land on the destination, you get that 5-note sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And where did I get that lick from? I said it's not exactly bluegrass. I think I hear people like Julian Lage and Chopin in Disney. It's like a Disney lick. You know, you go like...
Yeah, it does sound Disney.
Da-ba-doo-wee-da, da-ba-doo-wee-da. It's kind of like romantic. You know?
Very romantic, yes.
Da-ba-doo-wee-da. That note that we're landing on here, it's so weird because it's so perfect in certain situations. Like, ya-da-da-dee-da. Right there, it sounds like the most romantic, like the most romantic root. Ya-da-da.
Yeah.
But it's just ya-da-da-dee-da. So I thought that kind of melody, Chopin-esque, Disney-esque, you could do it like this. And like a flat picking tune. So now you get...
Yeah.
Now for the fingering, I may even do this, because that puts my index onto the E note. So when I play this little Chopin part, I don't have to do this with these 3 fingers.
You like to get your first finger in there.
I do like that. This is optional. Fingerings are very optional. You know,
Sure.
Even in classical music, different fingerings are accepted.
I want to do that. I want to shift up with the third finger.
We'll probably shift in your own places.
Cool. I like that.
Once you get to the G string, not only can you go from one chord tone to another chord tone, you can also stay on the same chord tone with a group of 5. That'll also fit the algorithm. So, for example, on the 5th, I might do this little lick here, which I think is really interesting. A little enclosure.
Just like that. You just went back and forth a little bit. But you're trying to land everything on that kind of a downbeat, essentially, a down pick.
Exactly. Here's another one off the 5th that's super neat.
Yeah.
I'll show you some of the way down in a second because there's, and I know this is going to be a lot of pieces, but then I can send you like a PDF document, but I thought we would do it just by ear right now.
Sure. Yeah.
So these 2 pieces, because they both begin and land on the G string, you can go back and forth between the 2 like this. Kind of like camping out on the 5th. You can kind of use those just staying out on the 5th.
Is this like a mode? Is this like get into a mode at all now that we're landing on the 5th or the 3rd? Or
I mean, yes and no, because right now I'm looking all this just over a static C flat picking chord. I'm just looking at it, they're C licks. But once you get this language, dude, these licks will actually work over like a D minor 7. they'll work over like a G7. They're kind of going to work over lots of things. They'll work over A minor. If you're playing like a 1-6-2-5,
Yeah.
you can just and get those to connect. And then if you learn to say in like G, you can do this over a big sciota. You can ignore the changes, like it's a way to sound like you're hitting a lot of changes and ignoring them. It's almost like the rock approach of playing this over C and A minor and D minor and G, except that the lines are like a little bit more sophisticated than just the you learn the that was wrong. That was the right ending.
Gotta learn that pattern. But
so what I'm doing there is I'm in the C pentatonic box.
Yep.
And start right here
on the G note there.
Yep. And this is again groups of 5. So the first group is this. I would eventually got there. If I was continuing this lesson, I would have gotten here. I kind of distinguish difference between the open position and the closed position. They're totally different worlds to me.
Sure.
But here, and then from there, we'll do chromatic from the third to the root like this. The beautiful thing about having, by the way, I've heard Bobby Hicks do, that's how he kicks off Maiden's Prayer. He goes, ya, da, 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 da. It's almost like an old country thing.
Yeah.
So, because they're groups of 5 on the chord tones, this lick here and this one can be separate or they can connect together.
Oh, I suppose.
And that's why this... Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
This is the same thing for the ones we did down here. This could be one lick. This could be one. This could be one. Or it could be all together. They kind of could be... You can make lines of any length. Put pickups on it. Start creating little mini lines with it. Things like that. Back to this one.
Okay.
What I played a second ago was a little bit jazzier. I don't think this would have been included in this one down here, but check out this lick. You go... which is actually landing on the 7th, which is why I say it's a little bit jazzier. Normally, I would be only landing on the roots and thirds and fifths, but in this line that I played here, that one is going down to the 7th. From there,
okay,
we're going to play chromatic from this note down to the 5th.
Big stretch, okay.
It's not as bad as you think, because I'm kind of thinking of it as just inside the blues C major box. Sure. So here I'm just like 1 fret lower within the box, and then right back into the... This, I guess, is 1 fret above the box, but the way I look, I'm just rock and roll like this.
Yeah.
I always associate everything with that. So...
Me too.
And then from there, go...
Do that again.
And then a chromatic up to the 3rd.
Okay.
And then from there, a G run.
Wait. I missed a note. I missed a note in there.
Well, I'm landing on the up, so I said it is a syncopated ending when I went.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that was the line I just played when I came up here and did this C major thing. And I think of that right inside of this box. So
Sure.
if you're playing stuff like this, and you're just kind of playing C major, out of any note you land, like if I land here, I've got this. Now I'm back in the box. If I came here, now I'm this one. If I was here, I'm on this one. They're like little mini jazz phrases that I can play inside my regular language.
Yeah. You're thinking outside the box within the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, take me take me from this again, the top.
From that note, let's see. From that note, I might go, well, from the root, from that one, I would go like this. Well, the lick I played before started here.
Also on the 5, didn't it?
But from that one, it would be... If I was doing this lesson, it would have been this one, which kind of takes you out of the box.
Yeah.
That would have been the one I do here, which is kind of out of that box.
Yeah, a little bit out of that shape or whatever. But you could. What was this?
Yeah, here's a little bit of what the difference is when I jumped up here, I kind of almost went to a slightly different language because I added some pieces that I wouldn't have added when I was here, like landing on the 7th. I went to almost like a slightly different lesson when I went up here because I would probably go like this, which is starting on the 7th instead of starting on the root. But again, starting on the 7th is something that I don't have as part of those original pieces.
Right.
Down here, I was just going to do the roots and thirds and fifths. But for some reason, I jumped up here and played a lick, and you're like, what's that one? Right. And I had this piece in there.
It's a 5-note pattern, though. Not a lot to chew on here. And then from there, I want to start. So, nope, I didn't do that right. No. There we go.
Yeah, that's a great piece. Just that, that's an amazing little thing.
Okay, then from there.
Hey, let's go back to the open position.
Okay, let's do it.
The open position is gonna be a lot more for like fiddle tune-esque stuff, Sure. So we were doing this one, then we did this one, then we did the ones off the 5th.
Oh yeah, you like to go above it and then back down. That's what I really like. That you went past the target note and came back to it.
To put the chord tone on the downbeat, exactly.
Okay.
Then we had you could camp out on the 5th. We had some of these.
Okay.
Totally. When you're ready to leave the 5th and go from the 5th to the root, I like this one.
Right?
Love that. So let's say you put together some of these already, because now we've gone from here to here.
Yep.
You could say something like this.
And it's all perfectly lined up.
Which totally creates what I would call the fiddle tune phrase. And I'm sure as a fiddle tune teacher, and everyone's followed upon this, they just might teach it different and explore it differently.
Yeah.
And all these fiddle tunes go buka daka, buka daka, buka daka, boo. Like Salt Creek is just 4 of those. It goes like buka daka, buka daka, buka daka, boo, buka daka, buka daka, buka daka, boo, buka daka, buka daka, buka daka, boo, buka daka, buka daka, buka daka, boo. It's like not every tune does this, but it's a really important little phrase to know.
Yeah.
So like Whiskey Before Breakfast, the first phrase could be this. Or anything we did before, like what? So what I did there is I started on the third.
Yeah.
And did this dude, the Chopin thing. Then I choose maybe one of these. Or this one. Those are both the same, you know?
Yep.
And then one of these. So put that together, you get. Hey, you could have done this too. That fits the algorithm also.
Yeah, I'm always like one note off, but like
which is why I say like they're like a little bit more. They're totally complete. You have freedom within this algorithm, but each one is like an exact 5-note sequence.
Right.
You know?
So you get a couple of those, and then you can really work around it.
Yes, but it's definitely a unique pattern of notes for these.
I like you were. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Because you were talking about that a little bit in the Greer video about how to, the shave and a haircut and all the different ways you can do it. And when I write these tunes, it's always like, it's like, how do I get back to the one chord or the tonic root note typically? And it's just like, I feel like there's more than one way to do it, but then I'm always doing it the same way, or I'm like.
This is great for tunes like East Tennessee Blues, things like Beaumont Rag, things like Ragtime Annie, things like Billy in the Low Ground. In fact, when I was showing Hayes that like if you played all of these lines that I'm showing you are inadvertently A minor lines, the same way your rock lines are A minor lines, you know? Right. So if I play this, dooba dooby da, dooba da, they're all A minor, and which means that they're, and in bluegrass, if I went like, I could go and play like over do 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 ba do ba do 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 do. I don't have to play a full A minor lick or a full G lick there. I can just play C over the tag.
Yeah.
So if I was playing all of the A section of Billy in the Low Ground, I could play all these licks over this chord. I could play all these licks over this chord. I could play them all over this chord, and I could still play them over the tag. Right. Okay, let's keep going for a second. So after here,
I want to go to the top there. Yeah.
From here, we start repeating some of them. I can do this one. That's straight chromatic. Exactly. Another one that's kind of interesting that I kind of skipped was we did the ones that stay on the fifth. But you can also say stay on the root like this. Which is kind of really interesting. It stays there. See, it's very chromatic, but it still works. Once we get to the third, we have that Chopin Disney thing up here.
Yeah.
That's going to be the highest point that I go to. And then we'll start going back down. And then we get this one that I showed you here. I would do it here.
On the 3.
Exactly. For the fingering, for the Chopin one on the way up, I would do index twice and then reach the pinky up.
And then you went
And then if I wanted to go to the down one, I would probably end up with my ring finger here, like, or see, I can either jump the ring finger or use index on the way down. You can make up your own fingers.
Sure.
I think I slipped my ring finger back in to do this one.
Yeah. You liked it.
Off that fifth, and the fifth is going to be this one. Yeah.
You just go around and around and around.
You know, this one too could have been here.
Yeah.
So I get.
Now, is this something that you kind of did like discover on your own here, that you kind of just like?
I mean,
or was there a little opening that someone showed you, or you just heard it and you're kind of like, I think there's something here?
That's a really interesting question. It's definitely something that I think that like I get more from obviously listening to jazz players, and how they construct their lines and like how they get the and kind of like hearing that kind of thing and thinking like my lines sound nothing like that, you know, and like how do I get away from going? This is all I can think about, you know,
right, or classic folding scale kind of thing, like,
or get away from this, or get away from this. I wanted that line there, that one. So let's go down.
Yeah.
We reach the root here. We have the. Now that you're on the root, we're gonna go like this.
No.
These aren't the only lines. These are the ones that I'm using. You know, there's other ones that'll work, obviously, you know. And after that one, so let's say we did this on the way down, and then we do this on the way up. Those are different licks, because let's say we did this on the way up and down. That totally works too. But if I do something different on the way up, it adds like a whole different sound. Like the lick is different on the way up.
Wait. I gotta start. You could show me like three things, I think. That was one of them.
And then on the way up.
Did you hit the G string open twice in a row?
No.
I think I did.
That would work too. Because that is different on the way up and down. I skipped this note on the way up and went.
You playing that B string?
Yes, but not the G sharp on the way up. I'm using the G sharp on the way down, but then the way up, not.
That might have been what you were kind of doing.
Yeah, but yours was cool too, though. That's the same. That's almost the exact same thing, you know?
Right.
That one sounds really cool to me, also.
I guess like you said, I mean, you could make up a million different variations lines. But it's really getting that 5-note pattern and just feeling comfortable landing on the root note or a chord tone, that is, on a downbeat.
Exactly. And each sequence is melodically interesting on its own. So each one also exists on its own. You know, you can literally stop at any point and go, or they're all little mini pieces of stuff. Yeah. So once we get here, let's go down. There's also, I'm kind of doing the abridged version of this, you know, because I've skipped a couple because on the way, when I did this one, we could have also done this one.
Yeah.
So that's two that work. So when I get to this G, I'm in the exact same spot that I was in this G.
Right.
So I have both of these options again. Or, so if I did both of those on this G, this is when it gets cool because these are both interesting things to go down from the G string. One of them would be this. That one I love because that one I would never do in my old-fashioned improvisation. If I went back to the G string, it's so cool, you know. So I did this one.
Yep.
And then from the G string, isn't that cool? And that could be a line, just that landing on the third. Like, what if that was the first? What if that was the first line of the B part of Whiskey Before Breakfast, like this? Let's see. Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not brave enough to throw it in a tune yet.
Oh, the B part. Sorry. That's where I was going wrong. That's why maybe my lick was not working. I was going to do the B part, and then I went somehow to try to connect it to the A part, but it would still work. But maybe something like that. So from we left off. Oh, we left off here.
Yeah.
You could also have done something like this.
Right.
And then,
well, okay. Keep going.
From this one, we could do this one backwards. From the third to the root. Now check this out. From the root backwards, we could do this. I love that one because I always get stuck down here and never know what to do when I'm down here. And then from there, we could do this one again.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
That's this one. I'm going really fast here, by the way. Like
Sure, that's all right. That's what hey, bring it on.
Now, what on the way up, we could do this one again, the Chopin Disney thing. Yeah, it looks like a G lick, right? That looks like a G lick to you, right? Like it could be, you know, it could be a G lick. What I'm thinking of that now is this dooba dooby da, just over a C, almost like this Doc Watson thing. But instead of doing this, if I started on the low E, let's say, and I went again, that's a super cool lick, but it puts the G note on the up pick if I'm playing straight eighths. So I do. Now to really get the C back in it, what if we did this?
Wait. And then we're okay, do it again,
And then this one. Now, you know how a lot of people would say you want to do this?
Right.
I analyzed why I didn't, you know, Hayes was asking me about this, I think, and I think the reason why I'm not using the B flat in any of these licks.
Yeah, you weren't using the B flat.
It never shows up because that way it doesn't clash with the A minor or the D minor, or it's really C major tonality. It's not like you were talking about like the modal thing. You know what these are? These are also, every one of these are Dorian licks, dude.
Sure.
You know, like the tonality, the tonality is more Dorian and Mixolydian than it is like that. If you look at it as a mode, it's C major, because once you start going like this, you're not in C major anymore. Once you start adding that note, so those lines might actually clash with like an A minor or a D minor or a G7. So that's why down here, even though it's a great choice in a bluegrass song, why in this particular algorithm I'm going like this.
I like that one. Oh no. I forgot it.
Let me try this with Strum Machine over the A section to Billy in the low ground.
Okay. Yeah. Dude,
isn't that interesting?
Yes. Yeah, you could go on forever.
It's super interesting. Like, it's not like I would do this all the time over every tune all the time, but it's certainly a departure from the classic language. And I hear people, everyone from Greer to George Benson, using these lines. And I just kind of wanted to, Julian Lage, Chopin, Disney, a little bit of that stuff and mix it in with your stuff. Like, dude, you could use this, for example, you're playing Fork Deer, just use it as the tag. You get to this.
Right.
Just do one of these. You have a couple of those up your sleeve, or...
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly like, again, there's depth here. There's more sophistication here. Like, you have more vocabulary. Like, that's what any player should probably hope to achieve, I would assume. And
yeah, this is for you specifically because you teach a lot of beginners. I think a lot of teachers in our realm, they make the mistake of thinking that the students are going to comprehend something, because like, dude, like this, most people just want to play a tune.
Right.
So you start showing them this stuff and they don't know how to improvise over a tune just playing a pentatonic scale. And I've been doing that since I've been in 8th grade. That's so like to take someone and be like, hey, to go beyond your pentatonic scale, you're going to play this. Maybe they can use that in their own playing, but the understanding of what you're getting out of it is exactly, you're my target audience.
I see. That's great. I like that.
Yeah, because it's really hard to find people that are going to understand why these lines are not even the typical ones. Like they're trying to look for the typical ones or understand how to play a tune.
Right. Yeah, I mean, every student's on their journey, right? And like, yeah, some people are just trying to play their first couple songs.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's some people that are wanting, have already been an accomplished player, and now we want to really,
yes,
get
like,
uncomfortable.
Someone like Hayes, like took this stuff and like, immediately start, that's the target audience is Hayes Griffin,
All right, that's why. Yeah, that's why I wanted lessons. I want to try it over Billy. I'm nervous, dude, over Billy and low ground here, but I'm gonna try it.
Oh my gosh, dude, you're gonna. That's amazing because these
ballsy.
Lines, dude. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I could fall flat on my face. Actually, what I was, side note, I was also really inspired. I want to try recording my practice every day for 30 days and put it into a video.
Wow.
And I kind of started, and I need to do it today, and I may, but like I want to try to build speed, and And then I just thought, well, hey, then I'll just kind of just do the montage of this video of me practicing for 30 days and just see where it takes me and if I get better, if I build speed and stuff like that. And I'm not so comfortable showing myself practicing or messing up online.
Dude,
like some people
me neither. This is a whole new world, man, playing.
But I think it's important. I mean, I see what's his name do it. He does it a lot. Adam.
I think it was Stash Weislouch.
Well, Adam, he plays Adam Shankler, is it? Or
oh yeah, totally. He does that.
He does it all the time. I mean, Jake Eddy does it too. Obviously, he's a monster player, but like I see
Dude,
people.
Adam is one of those guys that doesn't adhere to the down up picking. Almost like it's like Tony Rice.
I know.
And it's like the lines sound great when he does it, but it's hard for me to even watch. because he's doing upstrokes on and it's like people do that, dude. Tony Rice does that, you don't have to do it, but man, it's so interesting how he's one of those flat picking teachers that doesn't adhere to the down up gospel.
I know. He seems like he's got a lot of nice guitars too. I don't know. He's like I see him with all his guitars. All right, let's see if I can do this. I don't even know. I mean, I might fall flat on my face. Can you hear the practice track?
Is it playing?
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
Oh, you can't hear it.
When I played for you, I was just playing it through my phone and a Bluetooth speaker.
Playing it on my big speaker. Just want to hit chord tones.
Yeah, we can't really hear you though, man. Ryan, are you playing Strum Machine on the same computer that you're StreamYarding in?
I'm playing Music with Ryan practice tracks, but yes, I am playing on my computer that I'm streaming.
That's probably the computer the audio can't handle whether it's listening to you or whether it's listening to the backing tracks.
Son of a gun. Let me try. Another website I use, I want to build one of these myself, but I use the Bluegrass backing tracks page.
I used to use that before Luke. Now I just use Strum Machine every day, man.
Yeah, I mean, Strum Machine's got all the it's nice.
I use it every single day.
Do you?
I can't imagine life without it. I use it all the time, and he keeps making it better and better too with the new rhythm. You can do so much with it. The swing.
Yeah. What can you tell me a little bit? What the nuances of it?
Well, you can change the key. You can change these to swing, Celtic reel settings. You can put in any chords you want, edit the chords, share the files. And then he's always adding new customization things to change the strum. You can make it this, or you can make it this, or you can make it like all different kinds of.
So just different grooves.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Like, dude, check out the groove. How good this one sounds. If I do Tipsy Gypsy and put on this is a one that I put in myself.
Tipsy Gypsy. You
know that tune?
I don't know if I do.
Check out the sound of the track with the bass and the gypsy jazz. Deep, dude. That's a total like it sounds like so good, dude. You never heard this tune here? I don't know that tune, but that's nice. I like that. David Grisman.
David Grisman. Okay. Yeah, man. See, you got all the tunes, man. You got all the depth. It's fun.
Dude.
I don't know if
I appreciate saying that, but man, I just know the tunes from my era, from the 90s and the 2000s. I'm old school, man.
I'm old school.
I've never listened to a Billy String record in my life. The only Billy Strings record I've ever listened to is the one with where my buddy Drew plays mandolin on it on Turmoil and Tinfoil. But I've listened to that one because my friend played mandolin on it. Yeah. But I've never really listened to any Molly. I've listened to Molly Tuttle and Billy Strings pick a bunch. I've seen them live and stuff, but I've never listened to the albums. I don't know what songs are on what albums.
Yeah,
I'm old school. I know the Tony Rice Grisman. I have no idea what songs are on what. I've never listened to a Molly Tuttle album. Never listened to a Sierra Hull album. I have no idea what her albums are. I don't know what came out which year and what songs you put on which album. But I've been listening to her picks and she's been like 12 years old.
Right. I feel a little similar in that regard. Like I don't know Billy's albums. I don't know
any of the songs.
I did listen to Molly's one album that Marcel tabbed out, whatever that one was. I did listen to that one a little bit, but I know what you mean. Like Sierra Hall, or watch these people pick live or just YouTube.
Dude, I've been following Molly since she's been playing with her family band. She's been a kid. I've watched her whole career, but I've never listened to her albums.
Yeah,
it's weird. Just I'm old school that way. I know the Grisman Tony stuff, which really reminds me how old I am when I get the students off Marcel's list that are into the Billy Strings,
right?
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know any of that, but.
I don't know if you can hear this. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to hear this.
Oh. There it is.
From my phone.
Through the phone I can hear it now.
I mean, it's like okay, I gotta stop.
It's kind of the thing you'd have to literally practice, because you already have all your licks, you already have all this language, and in order to play this, I just did an example where I completely avoided every other lick and only played the licks I showed you today. I showed you like 50 licks,
right.
And I strung all 50 together, and I'm literally not playing anything other than that. I think more realistically, you'd be playing a regular bluegrass lick and then add this in.
Right.
Where you can to make it kind of tasteful and use it.
I want to be tasteful. Yes.
You can, if you transpose this to G and D, you'll end up with a great language for other tunes. Like in G, you get stuff like that kind of stuff. You can use that in Big Scouta, like I say, where it goes like the da-da-dum, 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 da-da-dum. Now right here where it goes 1 to 4 and then 5. 1, you can just go. And just play that same kind of language in G, and it's all going to kind of work over the 4s and the 5s in some almost more interesting way. Sometimes I find that if you ignore the changes, like if you're the rock guy and you're playing over C to, or let's just say in G, if you're playing G to E minor in C in D, but even more in this kind of feel.
Right.
And you start playing over that and you go, na, 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 na. And then you're like, na, 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 na. And you start kind of playing G over it. You're going to be landing on like the 9th of the C. You're going to be landing on the 7th of the E minor.
Yeah,
you're going to get better answers if you just kind of think G, If you start thinking over the changes all the time, you're going to get like less cool answers. But sometimes you're going to get way cooler answers. So,
I love that. You should make a little reel of what you just said, because I like how you put it is you'll find better answers.
Right.
Because I mean, we're all kind of searching for answers here. And it's good that you say that, like, you don't, I mean, I think I think about the changes all the time, and I'm going to hit the chord tones of the changes on the money. That's what I'm looking for. And just for you to tell me to stop doing that for a change.
Yeah, You have to know which chords that works with, which groups of chords it works with. You know, like you hear all the great players talking about ignoring the 2 5s and treating it like a 5. I'm sure you've read that a million times. You know,
Yes.
you treat the 2 like a 5, you treat the 6 like a 1. Again, these are all things that you hear the jazz players talk about all the time.
Yeah.
But then applying them to situations where you see a group of chords, you know, and this can be applied to our simple language, like in say Whiskey Before Breakfast. Doesn't Doc Watson over this? The tag, wouldn't he go like this? Isn't that what Brian Sutton plays over 1 5 4 1 4 1 5 1? So he just plays C C C C C C C C C C C C C C C, and that fits over 1 5 4 1 4 1 5 1. That works over all those chords, and we know it does because we all do it,
Right.
you know. So I'm just doing that, except taking the lines and getting slightly different lines with it. I'm doing the same philosophy, just doing this instead, doing the.
I like how you go past the target note and come down. That's a takeaway for me, and it does have a little bit of this. Like I was talking earlier about Dave Rawlings, he does a little bit of this where he comes down from a note to the root or to the third or his landing note. He approaches it. Yeah, I mean that. He'll do a lot of that stuff. I think he did it on the C. What'd you do there?
From the root, maybe this one.
Yes. Because he does. He loves doing that. Going sliding.
Who is that? Is that David Greer?
No, it's wrong. Well, it could be anybody, I suppose. Rawlings likes to do it when he's going 1. He'll do that all day long. I mean, it's just a snippet of what you're doing, but.
Dude, Dave Rawlings is one of the coolest guitar players, and I love how he makes his whole living backing up Jillian Welch. You know, like it's his whole world is like that's what he does is he backs her up. And I used to, you know, have this vision. I would want to think like him when I was playing with Catherine, because she was the singer-songwriter, and I would just kind of, you know, arrange her songs and play. I would arrange them, orchestrate them, and play over them, but she would write the songs.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, this is what I love to do way more than playing with a bunch of hot pickers, you know, like it's way more than playing a bunch of hot licks over a bunch of, dude, there's always going to be some 10-year-old kid that plays big mon way hotter, faster, you know, like it's never my world is not playing hot licks over changes. Cause there's always a million people that can do that.
That's sexy and fun for a little while, you know?
Yes.
That's sexy and fun. Yeah. I'm looking for a depth.
Exactly. The taste. Have I ever told you about the folk opera album?
Folk opera? I don't believe so.
Dude, Ryan, it's soon I'm going to deliver an album to you that's going to blow your mind.
Oh, all right.
Before COVID, Catherine and I raised $40,000 on a Kickstarter.
Oh my God.
To record a concept album. It's called Voices, a folk opera. It's 2 hours long of it's almost like Pink Floyd, Disney, you know, kind of thing, like Broadway Disney type of deal. Original characters, original storyline, and you know, obviously she never saw the end of the album. You know, like it's unfathomable, like that she never even saw people listen to the album. But she finished her parts enough to finish the album.
Yeah,
and it's gonna come out soon. I was kind of stagnant with it for the past almost year, waiting for my friend to do artwork, but he's finally gotten on it, and I just kind of almost lost completely. I haven't lost the urge to put it out, but like it's the urgency of it was kind of, or it's hard to explain why I haven't kind of got to finish this, but it's being finished as we speak now. The music has been done for over a year.
Folk opera?
Yeah, Voices, a folk opera.
But it's not out yet.
No, but I would totally share tracks with you and show you some of the artwork that I have. I would love to play it for you. In fact, you know, after we end the stream, if we want to, I'll play you a couple tracks, but I'm not going to share them on the stream, you know?
Yeah. Oh, fair Voices.
I'll totally share. You'll love it, dude. But I'm not gonna. I would love to share tracks on the stream here, but that's like Maybe I'll do something when it comes out. I'll actually do plenty of streams where I'm hopefully like gonna advertise it on all my friends' YouTube channels and
Right.
and get it. It'll be a big deal when I finally release it.
Man, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, Mickey.
You're gonna love it, dude. Like seriously, it's exactly what it's not about hot licks, it's about melody and storytelling. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm so attracted to Rawlings and Welch. I can't even like contain myself sometimes. There's just something about it that they capture something, this magic or something that it's hard to describe, in my opinion. And I don't know. They're just like folk artists to the bone. And Dave, I mean,
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Such great players copy their songs, and that shows you how much they respect. So many players that I love, they do those songs. They play them,
Yeah, I'm
Annabelle.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, Rawlings is like doing all this intricate guitar work, and then he's singing harmony. He never misses a lyric, a line, and he's doing intricate things. He's not keeping rhythm he is, but Gillian's doing the bulk there, and he's doing he does this pattern a lot. And that's just a basic thing, but I don't know, just he can go from soloing to singing, soloing kind of while singing. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, he also does really interesting single note backup, like stuff like doesn't he do stuff like this all the time, like stuff like that, like
that's his jam. That's his jam, right?
right, dude. My friend Gabe Valla, who's the best flat picker that I've ever met in my entire life. I'll have to introduce you to his music. He's the guy, my guy, who I tried to sound like and couldn't sound anything like him. So instead, I just sound like me. But that's my version. Who I was like, man, I just want to sound like Gabe. I got to sound like Gabe. He's from St. Augustine, Florida, the best guitar player I've ever met, and he would do stuff, these same kind of like things. And I thought he invented it, like he would do it over the band he played with, and he would do it all the time. And I'm like, man, he has the coolest fills, the coolest way of playing. And then when I heard Dave Rawlings, I'm like, oh, like that's where he got it from. Like Gabe would come in with a fill, like that would be like his fill over G. Someone would be singing a song,
yeah,
and he'd be like,
yeah. Dave likes to go the F sharp over C.
Oh, totally. That's another. I've talked to Hayes about that too, man. Like the that's a whole another category of like the melodies that play the. Dude, you ever notice that there's a tritone in Happy Birthday?
Maybe.
It goes da da 1 1 2 5 and a 5 5 back to 1 1 1 1 1 1 and then look over the 4.
Yeah.
Dude, everyone and their grandma sings a tritone, and they don't even think anything of it because it's the most melodic tritone you ever heard in your life. Da 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 da, and everyone can go da. I'm singing a freaking tritone.
Yeah, you're rubbing that real hard. Yeah, I never thought about that.
Ever since I started learning fiddle tunes, I was amazed by songs like Cherokee Shuffle that would use that F sharp over the C. And when I started learning melodies in a bluegrass context, I noticed that half the melodies, like, it's Christmas time, so we can make reference to this melody. A lot of hymns do it. They'll go like, da da da, da da da. And then what does it do over the C? Da da da, da da da. So it's like, it's almost like it's back to that same thing where we're not thinking changes. We're thinking G, but we're just focusing on the C version, the Lydian, obviously, but we're still connecting chord tones, but we're not playing a G lick to a C lick to a D lick. And there's tons of fiddle tunes that do that. Even St. Anne's Reel does that. It goes this over the D and then over the G.
Oh, man. Huh. Got me thinking.
It's a whole school of tunes.
Yeah.
Dude, Ryan, we should definitely do this again as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to keep going deeper, I guess, you know, with some of these things, and because it's good. I want to chew on some shit, you know. I want to chew, like the stuff you're showing me. I'm going to chew on that for a while.
Oh, definitely.
And
This was just the tip of the iceberg, man.
I got a little jam tonight. That I go with a couple buddies. One's a younger kid that just learned how to flat pick. Played cello forever, so he's like, he caught on really quick. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Another guy my age, and I live in a small town area, so it's like took me, I don't know, 7 years to find two other guys that flat pick guitar. You know what I mean? And now we meet up on Mondays and can strut my stuff or show them, open the doors. But
Awesome.
We'll do it again.
Dude, thanks so much for taking time to do a live stream. And, you know, this is literally the first time we've ever talked music and jam, so to speak.
Yes, it's like,
jam. And we did it in front of random people.
I know. It's like, we don't even know each other, but all right. I like where your mind was at. As soon as you're like, we should stream it. I was like, Mickey,
right.
He's on a new.
That's the kind of content that I really like, and I feel like there should be more of that. The spontaneous stuff that's completely off the cusp, or commentary on this world that we're creating is a very new and very unique. And it seems like there's everyone and their grandma's doing it because we're in the world, so everyone's teaching online flat picking lessons. Right. But the people that are doing it well, and the people that's a community that's kind of new, and it's a brand new way of sharing the music. Yeah. Dude, like David Benedict did this video on what's the tune called? He interviewed Reichman on the tune Salt Spring.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, man, how cool is it? There's like these people making video essays on tunes. You know, it's like a brand new way of sharing music. And who knows, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now,
I know
if these videos will still be around, and, you know, there'll be like these video essays with like people will still be playing the tune, and there'll be like a video of like John Reichman, like showing you how to play it or something like that.
Right.
You know, super cool content.
Love it. Yeah, it's like a library.
Exactly.
Music.
We're just building it, you know. Anyway, I'll let you run. I've got an actual 1:30 student coming up. I'm going to grab some food.
Yep.
And
me too.
Ryan, see you soon, brother.
You got it.
Later.
Take care.
Peace.